Hi everyone, here we are again, Franco from Fresh Aire Carpet Cleaning, and we're going to have a little bit of a session on a topic that's a really favourite with a lot of people. Not. It's the Pee Poo and Spew special. Here we are, we're back again with Mr. Michael Worthington, and we're going to have a little bit of a session today, which I think we've sort of basically glossed over a couple of times in the past, but it's becoming a real hot topic of late, if you want to put it that way. Pee, poo and spew.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, that's...
Well, it's reminding me of the kids, and I'm thinking, or is it that party we had a few months ago?
Yep. Yeah, oh look, I've actually got one to do this afternoon with the results of an after party.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and this became the after party. The following morning, someone woke up in their bed and had
a few problems.
Yeah, the regurgitation, shall we say,
Yes.
of what had been imbibed during the evening.
I think I remember you had to go to quite a high-class hotel once to rectify a whole hotel room for one of these parties.
That's been quite a few of those, actually.
Oh, not just the one?
No, it's actually quite a regular occurrence.
Is it really?
Yeah, so from what I've been told, that people like to go to those places and like to party, and sometimes they get a little bit carried away with themselves, and things happen. You know, you get people plus alcohol equals instant bad results.
We should make that a quote.
But it's true. Look, no, things that people go to have a good time, and sometimes they get a little bit beyond it, and things do go that nature. I mean, that's not the only time we get caught in the course. That's just an instance that's happened to happen, and then it's come up over the weekend, so to speak.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, the other thing is that we also have is we've got little kids and we've got pets, and we've got lots of pets indoors these days.
It's becoming more and more fashionable. You get them in apartments now.
That's right.
But some of our houses and the backyards are getting smaller now, so the pet is an indoor, outdoor.
Because there isn't a garden for them to go out into.
No.
No. So there's it's very restricted as far as that goes, and you can't expect your dog to wait all day for you to take them for a walk.
No,
and a lot of people don't even do that. So
if you're a bit late.
Yeah, and that does happen. Pets will have accidents, no matter how well they're trained. Sometimes things just will go wrong.
So we've got the toddlers running around, you know, and having accidents, and then you got the pets. Just as a sign up, which is worse, or is it both the same? If the toddler weighs or the dog weighs?
It's the same thing. Okay.
It is.
Look, I really find it surprising there's a prevailing attitude with a lot of pet owners that it's just a little bit of dog pee, that's fine, that's no problem. It's like, well, it's only a little bit of dog pee, but what if I came in and peed on the carpet? How would you feel about that? Oh, it's disgusting. Yeah, of course it is. And the same thing is coming out of an animal's body. We are animals.
Yes.
Okay, so we still have the same basic issues going on, whether it's a dog, a cat, whether it be a llama or a human being, it doesn't matter. Yeah. It's still going to be the same basic issues that you've got to deal with.
Is it in the urine that it's the salt contents and the different chemical contents that are in there?
Look, urine's actually quite a complex chemical.
Yes.
And one of the problems with it is that it comes out in the body in an acid state, and that's relatively easy to deal with when it's fresh.
Right.
Okay, but then as it starts that biological degradation of it, it becomes alkaline, and it forms these alkaline salts, the uric salts, which are really difficult to break down and remove. You need specified chemistry to be able to do it. Now, the reason that urine stinks in the long term is that these uric crystals will actually hold moisture from the atmosphere. They're what we call hygroscopic.
Oh.
So they draw moisture out, and that moisture is enough to sustain bacterial life. And so there's all that organic matter sitting in there. So we've got all manner of stuff sitting in there because it's a waste product, and we've taken waste products from a body. So there's lots of organic stuff in there that the bacteria are going to munch on quite happily.
Yeah.
Okay, so as long as there's moisture there, they'll keep going. And that smell that we get from them is the bacterial off-gassing. If you want to put it bluntly, it's the bacterial farts.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's the smell that we're getting. So we've got to be able to go in there, and we have to treat both the organic stuff that's in there, be able to break down those uric salts to remove them, because otherwise if we don't get all the organic stuff out, it will just keep on going anyway. We have to make sure that we penetrate far enough down into whatever medium it is that we're working with, whether it be carpet or upholstery or mattressing or whatever it is.
I was going to say, because you do mattresses as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's all got to be taken into consideration. How are you going to access it? So we use some specialised formulations and specialised equipment to be able to draw it up out of the backings. It's not just what's on the surface, it's what's underneath there. And that's where your real issues are.
So dragging the mattress out and just putting it in the sun for the day?
Not going to work. You'll still have a smell.
No.
Okay. Because as I said, those uric crystals will stay there. And mattresses are actually quite another one again. It quite often can get to the point where we just say, you know what, it's a throwaway.
Yes.
See, the issue is that we have those few layers at the top, and if you've had a big lot of it that's actually hit and gone through and it's gone into the springs, those springs are history. Okay, they'll rust out and the mattress will fail.
It's like that book, isn't it? Yeah. IP Nightly. Oh, Rusty Bed Springs by IP Nightly.
That's the one. Exactly. Yeah. So, and it's because it's going to be coated with those uric salts now, which are going to stay moist. And guess what? It's got steel in there, or iron. Yeah. Okay, as part of its constitution, and it's going to rust.
So with pets and with accidents like that, and maybe small children or maybe adults.
Adults are not exempt from this.
They're not exempt from this. How difficult is it a rescue? Is there some steps that need to be done, or some hints that look, if you want it rescued, you want it fixed, you've got to do this?
It's once again, it's a matter of getting onto it ASAP.
It's a speed issue.
It's a speed issue. Yeah.
Right.
Look, if it's long term, we can still deal with it. It just becomes a little bit more difficult. And once again, what kind of fibres are we dealing with? Right. If we have wool fibre carpet, for instance, and you've left it there for a long time, part of that bacterial off-gassing is ammonia gas. It's the ammonia part of it is that way actually smelling.
Right.
Okay. So because of that ammonia being present, ammonia chemically degrades wool. So you might be able to completely remove all the urine, but you'll still have a discoloration. That's what we call disulfide rupture that's happening.
Right.
Okay, so it's literally the fibre is rupturing. Okay, and it's exposing its inner self.
Inner self, yeah.
Okay, which has got a sulfide core, which is a bit of a yellowish orangey colour, and if it's gone to that sort of colour, you know what, it's done and dusted, it's cut out and replaced.
It's dead.
Okay, we might be able to tone it down a little bit, but you won't get 100% rectification on it.
Wow.
Yep.
Jeez. So, on those fibres. But what about you, because we've dealt with that, but what about the poos? Are they a bit easier to deal with because there's
people
more
actually
on
think
the
it's
surface?
worse. People think it's worse, but they're so much easier to deal with.
They are easier?
Okay. One of the other things that does make the urine difficult is the fact that it's quite often got a high constituency of urochrome in there, which gives it that strong yellowing colour. Right. Okay, so it's like a dye. Okay. So you've got to pull that dye out of the carpet as well. So you've got all those different things that you've got to try and worry about. So with the wool carpet, you're going to have one sort of situation. With your synthetic carpets, you're going to have another situation altogether. So you've got to be able to identify what you're dealing with and what blends you're possibly dealing with as well to be able to get the best result.
Wow. And so the poos are a lot easier to get off?
Yep, well the poos don't have all those sorts of constituents in there. They're mainly just organic matter. It's fecal matter. There is bacterial stuff in there as well, so it needs to be sanitised, yes. Absolutely. Yep. But it's more solids. Yeah. Okay. Even if it's come out in liquid form, there's plenty of times that your pet's been sick and things come out, or babies are really a classic example of that. Yep. They get a little bit runny and a little bit gooey, but that's really quite easy to contend with. The only times it might give you a little bit of problem is if you've been feeding your pet any like a lot of the dog biscuits, the pet foods that have got food colourings in them. Oh. So those dyes can transfer right through the gut and into the whatever it is that they're hitting. So we might need to do a bit of stain removal from that side of things. But if it's just straight up poo, it's actually not so difficult to deal with.
I never actually thought about the food colouring and the dyes that are put in food. So they actually go through the body and then can end up in your carpet and giving you the discolorations there as well.
That's right.
How do you... I'm sure people are looking and going, how do you work this thing? How do you go and go, I know that's food coloring, I know that's that. How do you learn this?
Ask questions before I start. What have you been feeding your pet? Oh. Can I have a look at it? And one of the things I'm looking for is food colourings.
Is that right?
Yep. As for the rest of it, well then, there's going to be the proteins and fats and oils that are going to be associated with it, and they're relatively straightforward to to deal with. So yeah, it seems a bit more foul.
Yeah.
It is a lot more foul, if you want to put it that way, but it's actually easier to contend with.
Oh, right. Okay. Does the same then apply if someone is sick? Like you have your pets are sick all the time, and children are sick, adults are sick. Is it the same with them? You're now looking for, because now you've said food colourings. I'm going, oh, hold on. Well, if you're regurgitating, maybe there's food colourings there as well. But now you've got a combination of liquids and solids and food colourings.
That's right. So we've got all sorts of things going on there. And then we've also got the stomach acids that are being involved with the regurgitation as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, once again, it's a matter of going through a process of elimination, finding out what there is or isn't in there. I mean, like if a kid's been drinking red creaming soda and hot dogs, okay, you're going to have food colourings and quite strong ones.
Yes.
Okay. Whereas if they just eaten a head of broccoli or something like that, that's not going to be such a great issue.
Yeah.
Okay. But we also need to make sure that we treat the area as if it is some sort of contagion in there, because why were they sick?
Yes.
Okay. If it could be some sort of gastro bug or something like that, that might be the issue. So we need to be able to make sure that we sanitise that area so that it doesn't become more of an issue further down the track for other people in the environment.
It's interesting you said that. So this isn't just a matter of cleaning as in cleaning. This is also, yes, cleaning and getting the stains out. But then you have to, you said, I think, sanitise.
Correct.
For health reasons in here.
Absolutely. I mean, you're there for health
Yes.
as much as anything else. You know, it doesn't look good and it smells awful and all the rest of it. But why were they sick? Was it just a case of overeating, or was it because of the fact that they were ill? And you'd never know 100% whether they are ill or not. You just treat it that way.
Yeah.
If you make that automatic assumption, just do it, and you've got your bases covered.
I think someone was sick then. That was the hospital helicopter going over the top of the
Is that what it was?
They're rushing someone who's been sick on a carpet.
Yeah, quick, to the rescue.
Is there... So when you're dealing with these types of issues, is there circumstances you walk in, you go, oh, I wish they didn't have that carpet?
Oh yeah, look, you do get that, because sometimes, as I said, some carpets you know they're going to be easy, and other ones you just know they're going to be a problem for you. Okay, and the other thing is when people have started playing with them already, because people go into a panic.
Yeah.
And what do? They get the old bottle of detergent out and they start scrubbing it, and all they're doing is flooding it with more and more liquid.
Yes.
Where's that liquid going?
I can't remember which video you did this on, but you talked about the guy who put a carton of soda water on. It's a classic video. You've got to watch that one.
Yeah, that one there was one that became a water damage one. From was started off being just a red wine stain, and instead of being what should have been a 1 hour job maximum, turned into a 3-day saga.
Oh. Gotta love some people.
Oh, look, he went on advice he was given by someone else.
Yeah.
Who got advice from Google.
I was going to say, was it Mr. Google again?
Yeah. So it was unfortunate. They one of those sorts of situations where people think a little bit works well, so a lot must work better.
Right.
No, it doesn't. It's minimising stuff. Okay, when we're doing anything with carpets, we minimise. We use the bare minimum to keep things under control.
I know when you're saying one of your other ones, when you add moisture, you use a spray bottle and give it a spray. That's it.
That's it. Yep.
And it's like, me, I'd be going, really? Need a bit more.
No, a lot of people get the bucket and go glug, 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 glug. I mean, I think I told you about that other one. Started off with a coffee stain and ended up being the whole room. By the time I got to it, because she kept on going and kept on going, and the stain kept on getting bigger and bigger. And then started off being, instead of being just a coffee stain, ended up to be we had a detergent browning, we had a cellulosic browning, we had a bit of a moisture issue as well.
Yep.
So I managed to get all that sorted out, and once I got all that sorted out, there was the coffee stain, and I did the coffee stain, we got that one as well. But that was an overreaction to a given situation, which a lot of people are prone to do because they're in panic mode. She didn't want her father to find it because he was away on holiday. So she went to panic mode.
And thought, I'll just get rid of this quickly.
No.
That's one of the problems with carpet and stains. You mentioned before, if you haven't seen it, watch the one on water damage. That was interesting. But in there you said about contacting insurance companies.
Yep.
Is it the same situation with this, or is it a
no?
little bit
This
less
one, you
sensitive?
probably find that it's not going to be covered by insurance.
Right.
Okay, so it will, it's something that has happened that you will need to get sorted out. I don't think I've ever come across any of them that have been covered by insurance unless it was in a rental property where they're making a claim against landlord insurance.
Right.
But as a private individual, then normally no, it's out of your back pocket, I'm afraid.
Interesting when you come to rental properties and you've got your water damage, but you've got these other issues going on with pets and so forth. Do you get called in by landlords that have said, look, we don't, you just walk in and go, yeah, we definitely know they've had a pet in here because you can smell it.
You can smell it.
And the tenant's going, no.
No, well then that's when the UV torch comes out and it's like, oh look, there's some there, oh look, there's some there, oh look, there's some there.
Oh, the UV torch.
Yeah, the UV torch, and we also use the moisture detector because as I said, those uric salts are hygroscopic, they'll set off a moisture detector. So if we get the double hit, which like it is, and you can smell it.
Yeah, I know.
Plus there's the claw marks in the corners and all sorts of other little bits of evidence and what's all those logs sitting out in the backyard? No, you didn't have a pet, no.
No. What's your top bits of advice for people? Say they've had a child or an animal that's been sick, had a urine, or maybe pooed itself on the carpet or the mattress.
Yep.
What's your strategy that you say these are the things you should go
Okay, so
through?
if you've got solids on there, pick them up, get them off the carpet. Okay, the longer you leave stuff sitting on there, once again, the harder it is to get it out. Okay, with your fecal matter, you can just use a small amount of detergents to be able to get that up, and sometimes you'll get it to the point where it's okay.
Right.
But you're going to have problems with the sanitizing side of it.
Yes.
Okay, and especially if it's been diarrhea that's gone through the carpet, you're not going to be able to access to the back of the carpet. We can.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's that issue with the urine itself. If you can find it, it's still fresh. Hey, get onto it with your bit of toweling or something like that. If you place a heavy weight onto it to draw as much as you can up out of the carpet, leave it sitting on there for about an hour or so. Get it off and get a vinegar solution onto it. You'll find all the stuff on the website as well.
I was going to say your website, because you mentioned red wine stains before, your website's actually got some really good hints and strategies
and how to
there.
do it safely with household chemicals that you're going to have more than likely sitting around your own home. Okay, so you'll be able to do what you need to do safely.
What's the website address again?
www.facc.com.au. And you'll find a link down the bottom of the page that you will actually find a spot removal guide there for you.
That spot removal guide is really, really good. I know one of the things that I know a few people have used has been the common one, the red wine stain. And the problem with some of the things off Google, because I think you've said before, they come from an American base, different type of carpet.
Different types of carpets. They're pretty much 90-95% full synthetic.
Right.
Okay, whereas we've got a lot of natural fibres, and even the secondary backings that we have are quite often natural fibre as well. Especially if it's a wool carpet, you can almost guarantee that it's going to be a natural fibre backing, which lends itself to a whole other range of issues.
Yes.
Okay, especially when we're talking about the cellulosic browning, that's going to come from that secondary backing normally. So you really got to know what you're dealing with to be able to get the best result.
And for those of us like me who would go, oops, I'm not sure about this.
Give us a call.
How do we contact you?
0418 914 097. That'll get you through to the office and they'll be able to get the details off you. And if it needs to be able to give me a call even and have a chat before we do progress with it. They're normally pretty good at being able to work out what there is happening there. So we can use that telephone number or info@facc.com.au. Hit us up on the website page. There's an inquiry form on that, as well as the Fresh Air Carpet Cleaning Facebook page.